So, incredible setup, JT.
Thank you.
Incredible improvement over your usual one.
Can I?
Very minimalistic. You probably...
I'm just trying to move this around without disconnecting anything so I can show that to your viewers.
Why are you sitting next to a box of explosives?
That is not mine. That is my daddy's. Back when he worked demolitions, he had this box that he would carry around his explosives in. I don't know that it would have actually saved him if anything blew up in there, but it's a nice heavy metal box. Looks like it's been dropped and or thrown many times, but it's a nice piece. Currently, it is weighting down this table, which is resting upon a Pelican case, because this arm is so front heavy that the table would fall over if the large box of empty box of explosives was not there. So
for those of us only listening to us through audio, he's literally has a massive red box that says explosives on it, and that's what he's using to keep the microphone from falling over. Incredible setup. Why is this? Why this change of scenery, JT? Did anything big happen in life?
Yes, it did. I have left the motherland. I am no longer in Texas. I took my last pilgrimage to Buc-ee's. Said farewell to the beaver. Had my last Whataburger, and I guess I can't use the accent anymore because I'm no longer in Texas. So
oh my God, rest in peace to Texas, JT. The lore has been intense and beautiful, but now he's literally in the other room right there. He finally released us from the basement. We are finally equals on this show.
At last.
And he moved to Skopje, Sarajevo, Belgrade, Sofia, Bucharest, where I'm actually stationed.
That would kind of slap, though, honestly.
Oh my God, that would be so sick. That would be absolutely
Just
sick.
imagine if I stood up and walked in that door, dear viewer. How cool would that be? Oh, that'd be the most hype reveal.
Very cool. That would be very cool. We should have done that for the live episode.
Oh,
but alas, we are not the smartest of boys. Not the smartest of boys. Was the move hard? Fucking boxes and shit. You got to package everything and open. And of course, you Americans have a package for a package for a package. So it's extra things that you must own.
Yeah, you don't realize how much stuff you have. And we have, a modest amount of stuff for Americans, I would say.
Of course.
But yeah, we ended up hiring some movers because I was like, I'm not going to drive an enormous U-Haul that many hours across the country to where I am now, full of stuff. They're loud, they're rattly, but we still had to box everything up ourselves. I mean, you can pay them to do it, but we're like, no, I'm not going to pay thousands of dollars for you to box our stuff and break it. So we did that. We just had them wrap the furniture and stuff and load that because I'm old and frail and I don't want to hurt my back.
More than you already have.
Yeah,
absolutely.
no kidding. Jeez, falling apart. But yeah, it was a nice, easy, seamless experience. Bless up. Shout out to Mayflower. They're a great company. At least for us, it was a good experience. And it was like half the price of what Pods had quoted us. This company that brings you a big box, you load it with your stuff, they pick it up with a truck and take it somewhere. It was like half the price of that. It was insane. So yeah, if you're trying to move cross country, look into one of the big accredited moving companies. Don't get screwed by these fly-by-night ones.
Sponsored by all accredited moving companies of the U.S.
I didn't know there was
a great deal on this.
There's like a federal thing where you can go to the website and it's like, these ones are okay. They will not steal your stuff. If it's not accredited by this like federal board, then they might steal your stuff, which is an enormous industry, and I didn't realize that.
But Balkan brain already starting to work. So I can just pretend I'm moving, and half of the boxes I fill with books and tech and so on, and the other half with pure Colombian Coke, and they will just drive it for me.
And they will drive it for you, yes.
So why would anybody ever take the risk? Like that's a new perfect way of actually moving some good material across the country.
I bet people do that. I bet that's a little cottage industry they got going on.
Or maybe the movers themselves, you got a few bad apples that have a side gig. Some of them are disgusting and have a podcast about moving companies. And the other less horrible ones, drug dealers and cartel members, they just use their job position.
12,000 pounds of cocaine.
Yeah. Oh, it's my favorite. Whenever somebody mentions and says it in that perfect accent of yours, cocaine, it reminds me of that Joe Rogan episode where he was listing out the average day of Hunter S. Thompson.
Oh,
Have you
yeah.
seen it? Yeah, and it's like wakes up, cocaine, Chivas on the rocks, then cocaine, then takes the edge off the day at like 1 p.m. after having woken up 1 hour before with some weed. Incredible lifestyle, absolutely
Psychopath.
incredible lifestyle. Peak goals, if you know what I mean. I just came back from the country that is opposite of all of that. Switzerland, the cleanest, most civilized, most to an extent, corporatized country on the planet. And when you
It
go
looked
to
beautiful, though.
Yeah, the nature is some of the greatest I've ever seen, if not the greatest I've ever seen. It's just an incredible place. But unless you drive through it, you don't realize how tiny it is.
Yep.
Every other city is like an hour and a half drive away. But the nature is absolutely fascinating. It's so clean that it's scary to my Balkan brain. Like everything looks like a pharmacy, right? Everything is like just absolutely fucking perfect. At one point, we noticed that most of the people vacationing around the area where we were at that were Swiss were just all old, because all the other Swiss just work 7 days a week until they get to retire, and then they go hiking up their mountains, and they go swim in their freezing lakes, even though to them it's like, what the fuck, it's not that cold. But yeah, it's a nice place. If you want to waste a lot of money, do go visit it, because it is absolutely painstakingly expensive. Like two small beers and a coffee and a water are like $35-$36
Good
at
God.
like the most random cafe, just like that, just standing there, right? Like we got 2 sandwiches, like larger sandwiches. They were nice. Also, they were 27 euros, which is again $35, right? Just 2 sandwiches. It's the most expensive place I've ever been to, but I guess high point of entry for the world's elites. But you get to live in borderline. Either depends on how you look at it. Either like Star Trek or like the rich, well kept places in Star Wars' Empire, right? And my aunt lives there, and she gave a really nice comment while we were walking by, and my girlfriend was like, "Oh my God, everybody is so well dressed." She's like, "Yeah, that's all bankers, and we just refer to them as gangsters in suits here, because yes, we're a neutral country, or we never went to war, or we have a very decent social safety net, but a lot of that money comes from banking, and a lot of that banking is done for corporations that want to get away with murder financially, quite literally, and insane cartels and terrorist organizations that are literally getting away with murder. So somebody's got to pay for all of this. I asked, and then that answer was received. But no, just the mountains, and it's literally like out of a movie. And there's the fucking cows everywhere, and all the grass, even on the mountains, is like perfectly well cut. Apparently, some of the like private owners of those areas that people get to experience, get money from the government to maintain the fields, blah blah blah, which is a relative win-win. They hire a company that pays for their salary. They take whatever is in between, or they take care of it themselves. The state supports you maintaining the aesthetic and cleanliness of your place, which could be something that we could parallel in a early stage socialist system, et cetera, et cetera. But no, genuinely, incredibly beautiful place, but not to repeat myself, as always, somebody has to pay for it, and extremely unnerving if you're coming from the global south, because like nothing is supposed to be that clean. It's so good, it's horrible. It's so good, it's dystopian. You're like, okay, they must be sacrificing babies.
Where's the cult?
Where's the cult? Literally, you're walking around and you're looking around, and then you realize the cult is just capitalism, and 2 sandwiches cost 30 euros, and you're like, that's the cult. Okay, I found the nothing like. Everything has to have a counterbalance in life. In the case of Switzerland, it's just good old everything is insanely expensive. That's just the answer. So yeah,
such is
but
life.
it was nice, was romantic, was nice, was cute. And now I'm back to this beautiful shithole I call my home, and I wouldn't exchange it for anything else.
Oh, hell yeah, brother. Here in Texas, the government does not pay for us to maintain anything. In fact, if you have a nice piece of private land that was once beautiful, what we do here is we put up, 15 miles of barbed wire and a sign that says, if you step 1 foot on this ground, by God, I'm going to shoot you right in the head.
Yeah, brother, don't come very close,
We've
brother.
got this common sign here that says, trespassers will be shot, survivors will be shot again. It's like, Jesus Christ, man. Just
Class.
Yeah. Such is life in the greatest country on earth.
But it's interesting, like that law of defending property. I used to subscribe to it a lot until I talked to a guy that gave me a very decent counter argument, which is pretty much the regulation when it comes to who you get to shoot when they endanger your private property in most of Europe from east to west. And that's basically, you get to take a life if your life is in danger, but you don't get to take a life when he's stealing your fucking car.
Right.
Okay, he's doing a fucked up thing. He's stealing your mode of transportation. I almost said mode of production. Jesus Christ! I'm in a cult, apparently.
Yeah, you are.
But no, at least a religion. But he's like, yeah, he's doing a fucked up thing, but he's not trying to kill you. It's not on the same level of him attempting to take a life, so he deserves his life to be taken. And to an extent, I fuck with that. That's number one. And number two, my grandpa, who's hyper-religious, a bit reactionary, but I love him. He gave me an example, I think, of Saint Nicholas or whatever, when or some
Santa?
bishop guy. Santa to an extent. When he was being robbed, he sees the guy robbing him, and he literally just tells him, do you need anything else? And then that guy starts questioning his life, and then comes back, lives with him, he gets educated into a new way of life, into spirituality, blah blah blah. But all I'm trying to pitch here is that the equalization of private property, or even damage or theft of private property, no matter how near and dear it is to your heart, there is a pretty decent argument to be made that should never be equalized with an argument that you then get to ascribe to yourself, which is, I get to kill this dude. The only counter argument that I feel is relatively fucking legitimate is, dude, I don't have time to fucking calculate if this guy's stealing my TV or if he wants to stab my 3-year-old. So you're getting, three Glocky 9mm in your fucking chest. Fuck off, right? Which is a decent argument. Like, I'm no joke.
That's why that every lawyer in the U.S. is like, you must say, I felt like my life was in danger. Doesn't matter if it was. You have to say, I felt like my life was in jeopardy. It's a perfectly legal defense to make. It's hard to refute that.
Absolutely. I can't wait to go watch a Disney movie and then empty a clip into the the cinema screen because it endangered my life with the woke black characters on the show.